Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Just texted the wife. Should have double-checked it.
What'd you write?
I meant to say we saved big with a discount double-check. Instead, I sent, last night I dreamt Dicka bathed me in a tub of hot dog water.
That's tough.
Dad autocorrect.
It'll get you.
Now it's your turn to double down with State Farm's Fantasy Football Double Down Challenge.
To another episode of The Rush. As always, I'm Danny Fry. On this edition, we have highlights from the football team's overtime thriller against P&D, along with CSH swimming highlights, a double dose of postseason soccer highlights, and of course, a whole lot more. So, as Aaron Rodgers recovers from his clavicle injury, let's start the program. As the 9 seed in the southern quadrant of the Class 5A IHSA playoffs, the 7-2 Titans travel up to Peoria to face off against the 7-2 Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the first round. Let's go ahead and take a look at these thrilling highlights. And Coach Rourke meeting up with his captains and the P&D captains for the coin toss. Glenwood won, chose to receive, and on the third play from scrimmage, just a little dump off pass to JV Rush, but somehow he goes 72 yards down the sideline. He's tripped, but that is still a tight-end touchdown with 10:53 to play in the first quarter. Just pure speed there from J.D. Rush. And on Glenwood's second possession, here's Matt Boo Boo Benitis, and he finds a wide-open Tyler Brown in the end zone. 3:05 left in the first quarter. The first two Glenwood possessions resulted in scores. A great 14-0 start for Glenwood, and then P&D turned it on with junior running back Andrew Shadid. He had a huge day, found his blockers here, and scores from 26 yards away for a touchdown. 24 seconds left in the first quarter, and Glenwood led 14-7 as we head into the second quarter. P&D again here on their next possession. Quarterback DeMarco Washington finds Luke Shadid. Yeah, that's Andrew Shadid's brother for a 40-yard touchdown, and that with 10:56 left in the first half. The game was tied 14-14 at halftime. Tyler DeRozier out of this game with a concussion suffered the week before. He gave a great speech at half, and whoop, look at that ball fly out of there. Coming up with that fumble for the Titans was Aaron Williams with 9:13 left in the third quarter. Man, P&D, huge fumbles in the second half that Glenwood was able to come up with, though. And Glenwood able to punch it in, make P&D pay. 2-yard touchdown run by J.D. Rush. Glenwood back on top. This game had 2 touchdown swings, 2 touchdown trends, as here's another fumble by P&D. This time senior Austin Bell. He fights in, and another fumble recovery. And here's Daniel Helm on the sideline. And now in the right corner of the end zone, making an incredible catch there from Matt Benitis. Yes, that's a touchdown. Somehow, Helm was able to get 1 foot in. And you know what, though? Glenwood led 28-14 at that point, 3 minutes to go. But then on the ensuing kickoff, here in the third quarter, P&D, 85 yards goes Andrew Shadid, and the Irish were back in the game again. Every time it looked like Glenwood could put away P&D, they kept scratching and clawing. 28-21 at the end of the third quarter, and then off of back-to-back personal foul penalties against the Titans result in a 1-yard touchdown run by the quarterback Washington. We're tied at 28, 2:40 to go. Glenwood trying to come up with a winning touchdown drive in regulation. It's picked off. Oh yeah, that's the quarterback who's also the cornerback there for P&D. DeMarco Washington, another huge play for him. He wasn't done. After that interception here, waning seconds of the game, it's a Hail Mary. And Shadid comes up with it. Andrew Shadid at the 21-yard line, and that sets up their kicker who had the leg, but it's wide left. We're going to overtime in Peoria, tied at 28. The Irish got the ball first. Coach Onken preaching to his defense here. They would step up. On 4th and 5, Austin Coslow gets a hand in there, breaks up the halfback pass, a little trickeration by P&D. breaks up the pass, and then that sets up here on Glenwood's possession. 21-yard field goal is nailed by junior kicker Nick Montre. From 21 yards away, he sends Glenwood home a winner, 31-28. Benitis, 3 touchdown passes. Helm, big day on both sides. Here's some post-game sound.
We don't get those turnovers, and I'm not sure what the score ends up being. We may stop them later on, but it gave us an opportunity to get the ball in the end zone. So the thing about the turnovers, and that's what you got to do. That's what we predicate our defense on. But we also converted with those, and so we made them hurt. I knew it was going to be that type of game, and Peoria Notre Dame, I knew they're going to come out and play 4 quarters.
Get the defense the ball first, because up at the beginning of the season, the defense had been setting the tone the whole time. We felt they could do it at least one more time, and they did that. And then we got out there. We were trying to score on it, obviously. We were trying to put it down and put it away easy. But we went to the field goal. Nick made the field goal. Heck of a play. Like, let's go. Let's go.
It was hectic. I mean, I couldn't even try not to think about it, just kick it straight. Coach tells me. Nothing really. I mean, just technique, fundamentals, and came through.
And we had to fight and scratch to win this game, and I'm proud of our team. I'm proud of the way they played hard for 4 quarters, and we're gonna come out and work hard this week, and we're gonna go out there and do the very best we can next week, and hope we can continue to play.
Next up for the Titans, the SHG Cyclones. We took a couple key plays from the last time the Titans took them on in the regular season in Week 8. Let's take a look here at a quick rush breakdown right here. And potent offense for Sacred Heart Griffin, led by Gabe Green. He's going to send a running back, James Obibi, in motion, rolls out. Eventually, Titan linebacker bites on Gabe Green because he's such a dual threat. He's such a threat to run. Wide open pass to Ryan Elvers, and he is able to pick up a solid gain to the Glenwood 15. That's how SHG was able to pick apart the Glenwood defense again. Running back in motion. Well, the Titans, Coslow and Brown, fall for the running back on the screen. That leaves Rocky Morse, number 10, one-on-one with Malik Turner, who's a bad matchup for just about anybody. We still have one more play here. Key Titans blocking. Offensive line cannot be worn out like they were in the first game back in Week 8. That leaves a hole for Tyler DeRozier to run through. That's a little rush breakdown here. And now Glenwood, they're now at 8-2. They welcome in the 10-0 asterisk Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones into Titans Stadium as Glenwood looks to advance to the quarterfinal round of the playoffs for the 4th consecutive year. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock, but make sure to get there early while there's still room in the stadium. Also, when you're there, make sure to look for the Key Club food drive tent by the concession stand to donate any canned food items or donations. The boys and girls Glenwood cross country teams went east on I-72 in Decatur to Hickory Point Golf Course in a Class 2A XC sectional. Let's take a look at the results for the Glenwood boys. Here, Landon Skelly took 7th overall in the meet. Time of 15:35, and then the group of Titans behind him. Now let's take a look at the girls' results. Demi Dixon leading the way for the Titans with a time of 18:18. She finished 6th, and then the pack behind her, all the way down to Karen O'Reilly, that close pack that helps out the Titans in points. Out of 18 teams in both fields, the Glenwood boys cross country squad finished 5th, while the Lady Running Titans took home 2nd in Decatur. Both GHS XC teams are heading to state at Detweiler Park in Peoria this Saturday. The Glenwood girls swimming and diving team competed in the Central State A Conference meet. Rush reporter Hannah Duncan was there and now joins me on set.
The Lady Titans faced some tough competition at the annual CS8 meet last Saturday. Let's take a look at the highlights. For the CS8 conference meet here, starting off with the 50 Sarah Helm will get a time of 25:06. And this is a really close race here, but she'll end up tying for first with Jacksonville's Savannah Lutz. Really good race there. And in the 100 butterfly, Yana Meadows in lane 3 will get a time of 1:21:05. Ashley Smith will get 2nd and Josie Oakman will get 4th. But Yana's really able to pull ahead, can't even see any of the other swimmers with her. So she'll get a really easy first place with about a 7-second lead ahead of all the other swimmers. Next in the 100 breaststroke, Sarah Helm again will get a time of 1:08:68 to get first place, and she'll get less than a second off state qualifying time, really close there. Kat Von Lemden also will get 4th in that race, but raced really well with a 1:16:80. In the 500 free, Ellen Costa will get 5:44.09. She'll get third place. Not her best on the season, but she'll give a good effort. Anna Carney of Springfield just will get first with 5:15.87. Really amazing race for her. And last in the 200 free relay, B team will get second place with 1:56.12. And in a separate heat, Team A will get second also. They'll break the school record again with a 1:45.54. And on the meet, Glenwood will get third with 2:53.5. Springfield will win it with 3:75, and SHC will get second with 3:58. The Glenwood girls and swimming and diving team has another meet this Saturday at Normal U High, with diving beginning at 9 and swimming starting at 1 as they prepare for sectionals. Now it's time for the first commercial break of the show, but stay right there as the Rush will be back with sectional and super sectional soccer highlights.
It's a wonderful dining experience. We offer outstanding fried chicken and over-the-top Walayan pizza. With quality products at affordable prices, Fat Willie's is the way to go. Open Monday through Saturday, 12 a.m. to midnight. Call us today at 217-483-6969.
Aaron, you're all set?
Great, thanks.
Mike, thanks for doing that discount double check. You saved us hundreds.
What was that?
The discount double check? It's when we comb through your policies to make sure that you're getting all the discounts you deserve.
No, I get that part, but you guys are doing my move.
The discount double check move?
It's my touchdown dance.
So you're a dancer?
No, I'm a quarterback.
Oh, quarterback.
More.
I'm a robot. Get out of here.
Get to a better state. State Farm.
Call Steve Bedford in Chatham for personal service and discounts that you deserve.
Cruising past Marion 4-0 in the Triad Sectional Semifinal. The Friday night, the Glenwood soccer team battled the host Triad Knights of the Class 2A Sectional title. Now joining me as a guest anchor, Glenwood senior forward Luke Rectenwald coming on the show again. Thanks
for having me.
Now, Luca, entering that Triad game, what were you guys expecting from the Knights? You guys said they had two good guys up top, Trent Kendrick and Andrew DeCharm.
Yeah, they had two good guys up top. We just were going out and we had to shut those two down. If we shut them down, we could have a good, clean match.
Now, how is it for you personally, being a sometimes double, sometimes triple team? They're keying in on you and Brock. You know, how's that matchup?
And when that happens, that's when I have to find the ball. We got to get it out to our wings and then take off running. That's when we make our corner runs. We just got to get open. It's a really hard time, but it's very good for our level of play that we've been going at. So.
And Triad did a good job of that, so let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights here. The Titans and the Triad Knights. This one in Troy for the Class 2A sectional title. Vidur Radaraman, talk about him, he's really played well this year. Header attempt, but that's snagged by the freshman goalie John McGee.
Yeah, first year, he's been such a great help. I'm glad we had him this year.
Zach Mazzara stepped up of late, and he's earned the goalie spot in the playoffs with a stop there. Talk about this perfectly executed corner kick from Brock Tober to Isaac Albrecht. 18:21 left in the first half, Glenwood up 1-0.
Definitely, Brock just came in with a great ball. He finally found Isaac. It was a great play.
Very physical game. Noah Carpenter for Triad just laying out Vidur. He's really taking a brunt of the hits. We'll talk about that a little later as well. Tober for Triad, that's eventually stopped by McGee again of Triad. And here off a Triad corner kick, Kendrick pokes it in, but what happened there? Why did that goal not count?
Right there, the ball actually went out of bounds and came back in play, so it could not be ruled as a goal.
So scoring 1-0 at the half. Triad here trying to get on the board eventually. Chris Fanning for a shot attempt that's wide, but this shot is not wide. Andrew DeCharm drives there out of the goal there, and with 26:11 remaining in the second half, we're tied at 1. What was the team's reaction?
You know, it was scary, but we came out fighting just right here.
Just right here, Vidur Radaraman says a perfect. Stone Cassad, you know, guess who? Header attempt there. He nails it 13 minutes to go in the game.
Yep, he came up big. You know, our coach always talks about how anybody could come out any given day and just score the winning goal for us, and that's what happened right there.
2-1, Radaraman with a shot attempt there. Very physical game. Triad had a red card there at the end, an ejection, and you guys hold on for a 2-1 victory. Isaac Albrecht with a goal. Same thing with Stone Cassad, the game-winning goal. Here's some post-game sound.
I thought the first half we handled it fine. I thought we got the ball down and we played some good soccer and we didn't let it get to us. The second half, we knew they were going to come at us and they just kind of threw all caution to the wind. And there were times we handled it well, other times we didn't. We needed to just be stronger. The official wasn't going to make some of those calls, so we just have to deal with it.
Well, we just had to keep our composure, play our game, and we started playing a little kickball. We just kept it under control, passed it around, and it all worked out. As you can see, Stone Kasai with a big goal.
They got frustrated. A couple of their players really got frustrated and had the ejections. So, it's great for our guys to stay with it and keep their heads.
I don't think Stone scored since Taylorville, so that was the first game of the season. So that was a great goal.
It's got to just only help us to have the confidence to know that we can play a tough game and even not play our best at times and still weather the storm and come back and get a victory. And now we get to play a super section on our home field, and how rare is that going to be for an athlete to be able to do that? So we got to enjoy this tonight, and then we kind of regroup this weekend and just be ready to see who our opponent is.
Triad had not just one, but 2 red cards in that game. Describe how that physical game prepared you guys for a matchup against Rochester in the super section.
Well, we knew Rochester was going to be very physical throughout the entire game, and just with Triad coming in with that game at the sectional final, it was really good to prepare us to come up big for Rochester.
Yeah, and that's something there. You guys, Coach Light mentioned in the post game there that you guys playing the super sectional at home, and what a great opportunity that was. And how much confidence you have with that, knowing that you guys are going to play at home and against the team Rochester you guys edged in PKs earlier?
Yeah, coming in at Rochester was, we knew we had a good advantage. It's at our home field, and we're going to have a lot of fans. It's going to be packed. It was a packed house. Yeah. And we came out and we fought. I feel like we got very unfortunate. It was just, it was very comforting knowing we were playing at our home field, though.
Well, let's go and let's take a look at that highlight. The Titans and the Rockets, round 2 for the Class 2A Chatham-Glenwood Super Sectional title. Game started off a little slow, but here's an attempt from Roger Rahman that's grabbed by Rochester goalkeeper Nick Schaff. He had a solid game, and Lucas Satterley here misses just right off of the bar. Close call for you. As mentioned, the crowd there, classy crowd there.
Yes.
Violin to boot there.
That was excellent to have throughout the entire game. It was very funny. It was very relieving having that.
Well, score was 0-0 at half until Aaron Cable somehow gets that shot off, and Zach Mazzara can't handle it. Slips in. What's the feeling at that point? 27 minutes to go. You guys answer right back off a free kick from Brocktober, and Noah Johnson slides in for the goal.
As soon as we got scored on, we just came out heavy. We knew we just had to keep pushing on. The game wasn't over. There was a lot of time left, and that's what we did. We pushed on and got a goal.
Talk about Vidur Radaraman taking all the heavy hits here, pushed down by Dawson Ford of Rochester, little but sir. But at that point, it was 1-1. Game tied at the end of regulation. That means 2 sets of 10-minute overtime. What's the team mindset, especially here when J.D. Pletch knocks it in past a diving Mazzara?
We came out, I thought, very well. I thought we were very unfortunate that they got that goal right there, and it was just very unfortunate.
Looked like this goal could have possibly, a lot of the players thought that goal could have possibly slipped over. That was with 2 minutes to go in the first overtime. Rochester also clamped down in the second overtime and were able to hold on to beat the Titans 2-1. Noah Johnson with a goal, J.D. Pletch with that game-winning goal in overtime. And describe how you guys were able to sort of fight through that game and what it felt like when the final buzzer sounded.
It's just I thought we did a fantastic job. I thought we played him better than we did the first time we played him. I just thought we came out strong. I feel like we got very unfortunate for Zach Mazzara. No blame towards him. I mean, he did a great job all year as a sophomore. He really stepped up, and it was just unfortunate. I mean, it was very disheartening when that came out and that happened. It was one of the worst feelings you can possibly get after your whole high school season just ends right there, and we are so close.
Exactly, and you mentioned Zach Mazzara did a great job, especially with all of the weather conditions and the rainy weather and everything. Yeah. Describe how you guys were playing through that. There's a little bit of slipping and sliding.
And when it's like that, that's just when you got to just mentally put yourself like, do you know what? I know the conditions. They're in the same conditions as we are. We just got to push through it, and we can't whine about that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And what was different? You sort of mentioned that you guys actually almost played better in the first match compared to the second match against Rochester.
And I think when we came out, I thought we came out just a lot stronger. I thought that we were
second half you guys came out firing.
Yeah, and I just feel like it was very unfortunate. We had tons of chances, just couldn't put it in the back of the net. And sometimes it goes that way for us. And
Yeah, we touched on it a little bit earlier, but what will you remember most from your soccer career, specifically this senior season with your guys?
It's just like, I mean, I'm never gonna forget just like how close we all were. It was a good bond throughout the entire season, and I never knew we were gonna make it to the Super Sectional, but with all these guys, and we just came together and united as one. And I thought we did a great job just throughout the entire postseason. That's probably my favorite memory, was just making it to the Super Sectional.
You guys really made the most out of what you had of being sectional champions this year. All right, Luke, thanks for coming on, and congrats on the fantastic season. Again, congrats to the 2013 Glenwood boys soccer team on their solid postseason run to a sectional title. After some time off, the Rush's pick'em guru Eric Burklow is back and better than ever with the Week 10 edition of Eric's Pigskin Picks.
Hello, welcome to my Week 10 picks. My first game is Detroit at Chicago. I think Detroit will win. They'll be well rested, and I think Matthew Stafford will have a big day on the 23rd ranked Pasty. My next game is St. Louis at Indy. I think Indy will win. They've won 5 out of 6, and Trent Richardson will have a big day on the 28th ranked Rundy. My next game is Dallas at New Orleans. I think New Orleans will win. Rob Ryan's going against his former team, and Tony Romo will have a rough day on that 5th ranked Pasty, and they will be mad after losing to his brother's Rex Ryan's Jets after that game last week. My next game is Carolina at San Francisco. I think Cam Newton's going to have a rough day on that San Francisco D, and they've won 5 in a row, and they're at homes, and they're coming off a bye, so I think they'll be well rested. And here's my upset pick. I'm going Tampa Bay over Miami for their first win. I think they'll get their first win. They have better stats. They're 15th ranked pass D and 13th against the run. Miami's got a 22nd pass offense and 21st in the run. And they will take that momentum from that Seattle game where they lost 27-24, but I think they'll play well.
And now it's time for the last commercial break of the show. The Rush will return to the top 3 in weekly debate with 970 WMAY's Mike Wenmacher and Matt Modershaw. Stay locked into the Rush.
Kids, breakfast is ready. Eat up. Your friend's gonna be here pretty soon.
I'll be there in a second.
Have a great day.
My friend's here, I'm leaving.
Be safe. Come home right after school.
Alright, see ya.
Wow, your dads are really looking out for you.
That's not my dad. That's my family's financial advisor, Mr. Sullivan.
Sullivan Financial, looking out for your investments and your family.
Well, Mr. Raji, we could save you hundreds by doing a discount double check.
Not you too, Raji. You're on my team. You know that's my move.
The discount double check?
No, it's my touchdown dance, man.
Here we go again. Sir, you're not even doing it right. Raji, drop it.
Show me what you got, Raji.
What is this?
Come on now. You said you were a dancer.
Where you going, buddy? Come on back.
Get to a better state. State Farm.
Call Steve Bedford in Chatham for personal service and discounts that you deserve.
Welcome back to The Rush. Here, I'm Eric Burkle, the top 3 plays at Glenwood Sports this week. Now let's get this countdown started. Play number 3. It takes us to the first round playoff game versus Peoria and Notre Dame. Matt Benias finds Daniel Helm in the corner of the end zone for an amazing touchdown grab that put GHS ahead 28-14 in the third quarter. And on the play number 2 from the soccer sectional title game is Badur Radur Rahman sets up the go-ahead header to Stone Casals. The Titans defeat Triad 2-1. And the top play of Glenwood Sports this week is Nick Monche's game-winning 21-yard field goal in overtime that put the Titans past PND 31-28. Now let's send it back to Danny for the weekly debate.
Great job there with the top 3 plays. Back here on set for the weekly debate. 970 WMAY's here. Color commentator Matt Modershaw is right here to my left, and then down over there is Mike Wenmacher, the play-by-play guy at 970 WMAY.
Thanks for having us, Danny. Appreciate being here.
That's right. Let's jump right into the debate. really since the beginning of the week, it's been Dolphins talk with Richie Incognito, who he's an interesting character already with all of his issues at Nebraska, being suspended by 2 coaches, going to Oregon for like a week, and then all of the incidents. Didn't he throw a helmet? Something, I think,
and he threw a punch at a coach also.
That's right.
And he's also been fined for giving some interesting hand gestures to fans in the crowd as well. So
Class
act.
Class act, and but issue with the lineman, I actually forget the guy's name.
Jonathan Martin.
Jonathan Martin. I was gonna say Marshall. Good thing I checked. But Jonathan Martin, he's left him. Obviously, you've heard that voicemail that's been read all over the news as well. What do you make really of that incident? How do the Dolphins move forward? Matt, we'll start with you. Go down to Mike.
Honestly, it's incredibly sickening to me. Because quite honestly, and you know what the worst thing is growing up, I wasn't a part of the best locker room. So I've actually, been in locker rooms like this, and it completely tears everything apart. It makes everything toxic. Nobody can get along, and when you can't get along, you can't be a team.
And you can't
that's
play
exactly
and
what.
execute.
Yeah, you cannot play and execute. And the worst part is if I'm Ryan Tannehill, I would have nipped this as soon as it started, because these are the guys that are supposed to be protecting me, not bickering and arguing and threatening to kill me or saying that the guy's going to slap my mama. I mean, this guy, he basically
that's where they
everything
went over the line.
Yeah.
Don't bring your mom into it. Mike, we'll go down to you.
I mean, you bring up Ryan Tannehill, the quarterback, and most of the time the quarterback is the captain of your offense. But for Tannehill, he's only the second-year guy. He's the second year in the league.
That's right. From A&M.
What I think is just bizarre in the whole situation is the coaching staff saying they knew nothing about this. I mean, when you look at
happened a while ago.
and if you look at it
for 2 years now.
Yeah, and then Martin recently checked himself in.
And when you look at it too, the most cohesive unit on your football team has to be your offensive line. And Tannehill's already been sacked 35 times this year. So as a coaching staff, you know that's not all physical. I mean, you're an NFL player. You can't miss that many blocks.
And you lose that left side with this incident too.
So you have to know something is going on. So you would think as a coach, making wins or what keep your job in the NFL, did you want to delve deeper and to see, okay, what is the actual problem here? Because NFL guys aren't missing that many blocks. So I'm just shocked that the coaching staff sits back and goes, well, we had no idea about what happened. That just shows a big lack of authority and a lack of really a chain of command in that Dolphins organization.
Well, and that goes back to what you were saying about the coach. I don't buy that. As a coach, he is, Joe Philbin sitting there saying, oh, I knew nothing about this. I knew nothing about it. How do you not know what's going on in your own locker room? You were the head coach of an NFL football team. I'm pretty sure
you got to know something.
The buck stops with you. I mean, how do you not know that these things are going on?
If not, he doesn't have the leadership.
If not,
that's an issue.
Yeah, go back to being a coordinator at that point.
And when it comes down to it, I think the biggest thing that this shows is that this type of behavior knows no bounds. I mean, you look at Jonathan Martin, you say, who's going to pick on that guy? I mean, no one's going to go up to him, but it shows that kind of stuff, the kind of mental abuse he took, can happen to anybody.
And if you've ever looked, there's a picture of Richie Incognito in like when he's like 10 and he has stripes. And have you seen that? And it's really like, oh yeah, he's the bully out of this situation. Well, let's go ahead. You know what? Glenwood SHG prepping for this second round matchup. What's the key for this week 2 matchup? We touched on it a little bit in our breakdown earlier in the show, but Matt, you're the guy breaking it down here for WMAY. What do you think is the key now that they have to play him in the second round opposed to a little later in the playoffs?
Well, obviously things are going to be a lot different than they were in Week 8 because we know that Coach Leonard is definitely going to want to change things up. You're not going to see the same looks that you saw in Week 8. And also something that me and Mike like to touch upon in Week 8, and I'll just say it. It's 2 words and I'll segue to him. Motion man.
Don't over-pursue when the running back goes out of the backfield in motion.
We talked about that in the breakdown because they do, and they bite on him, and that leaves one guy out in the backfield.
And it's also, I know it's cliche to say, but when you have 2 evenly matched teams in the playoffs, 90% of the time, the team that wins the battle of turnovers wins the football game. And that's where things went awry for Glenwood in the regular season. They're neck and neck.
Rochester, too.
Yeah, neck and neck with SJC, 35-34. You get a couple of fumbles, you throw a pick 6.
Onside kick doesn't go your way, but I like that call. I mean,
yeah, because SHG was driving on you anyway, and you were only gaining 20 yards of field position either way. I like that call as well. But you look at it, SHG got 21 points off turnovers. You take away that 20.
And they're already a talented team. You can't be giving them short field.
You got to cut down the turnovers, and you have to execute. When you have the coaches can scheme up whatever they want. When you're open, you got to make it.
Exactly. Well, here we go, and we'll see you guys at that game as well. Guys, thanks for coming on the weekly debate here.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Danny.
That's it for this week's episode of The Rush. Make sure to come early to the SHG Glenwood second round playoff game. We gone. All right.